we're going to look at the scoring, generation, and publishing aspect. So we're looking at this fourth box right here, and there's no real data input, or this is all sort of a generation and tools. So this block is fairly straightforward. Right at the top we have calculate scores and calculate scores quick. What is the difference between those two? And it's pretty straightforward. The calculate scores does the entire calculation for the whole rally, runs through everybody. The quick piece right here, what it does is every time you change a stage time or a control time for any individual team, they get marked as needing to be recalculated. So if you change just one time, like one start time or one finish time for one team, when you do the quick, it just recalculates that team. So that's generally the fastest way to do it. However, if you change the setup of the rally, like you change the amount of time to go from one control to the next, or change the transit time or expected time, or implement a reseed. So if you change the structure of the rally, then you'll want to do a full recalculation. So that's the difference between these two. So if we look at just doing a quick, here we have the 6 steps that it makes, and then calculations are complete. So that's pretty straightforward. And then calculating scores, you see here, we get some spinning, we get some thinking that we need to do. So that takes a little bit longer. So especially at the end of the day, when you are trying to get calculations done, for the awards, and you're changing just one guy at a time, and you want to see what happened, the quick is the way to go. Publish, 2 options in publish. Again, it's related to speed. So we have some graphs that we generate, and of the 2 options, this one just doesn't build all of those time-intensive graphs at the end. So you'll see it's just building the reports. Now, these are the graphs that are the actual PNG files, so the actual graphic files. So the graphs that you see on the front of the public scoring, those are still built in either case. So when we do this this full publish here, that does also generate all of the sort of the subgraphs that go along with this. So what we can do is, if we look at the external site here, so what the external site, so here are all the graphs. Graphs. So that completes the full package. So let's take a look at which pieces those are, which graphs. This link, the only thing it does is open up the external site so that we can see what's actually been pushed out. So these graphs right here, these are dynamic, and these are not actual image files. This is code that's building these. And so these ones are always generated. And here are the stage scores at the top. But if we look down all the way at the bottom, we have these graphs of race position, stage speed, race closeness. So there are the stage speeds. So each one of these is an actual image and takes a lot of time to generate. So those are the ones that are not updated when you do only the results. So, and again, at the end of the day, you don't need to get the graphs updated every single time you want to see what's going on. That's the view external site. The scoring reports, the 2 main scoring reports that you're going to look at are the detail overall and penalties. Now these are actually the same pieces of code that generate this stage scores right here and this list of penalties right here. So it's the same, so you're sure that you're getting the same pieces. So the detailed overall is our very familiar list of all the stages and all of the speeds, all of the times for each racer. So you'll be looking here a lot just to make sure that these scores look right. And then the penalties, this is going to tell you all of the penalties, the automatic penalties and the manual penalties, and where they came from and what caused them. And then finally, we have the trophy presentation report. So in this particular one, what this does is this works with the settings down here in championships and classes. So in championships, we have the trophy count, how many trophies we're giving out. Here it is overall within Rally Moto Cup, we were giving 3. And then on a class basis also, we can look at each of the classes and say how many trophies are we giving out. I mean, top 3 is typical. So what this does, so once we have that set up on a championship and class basis, when we look at the trophy presentation report, this is what you would print out and hand to the person doing the awards and announcing them. So this is saying that for the ARC, we were doing no trophies for overall. And notice that no one is bolded here either. And then we were giving out, for two-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, trophies for first 3 places. So we have those people bolded here so that we know that we are expecting to hand out trophies to them. And this gives the person not only their names, but also it pulls out the phonetic pronunciations, which is certainly very handy with as many international people as we have competing in rally. So this gives everyone just the information that they need to essentially stand up and hold this piece at the end of the day and know how many trophies. In this instance, we only had trophies for 1 place. The first place is bolded. Even if you only have trophies for 1 place, this will at least let you know how many pieces of glass or wood you're looking to pick up off the table. But it always does print at least up to 3. So you always get the first 3 positions at a minimum. If you have more trophies set up in the settings, it will give you more. That is an overview of scores and how to use this box. Very straightforward.